Hi, and how are you? Kirsten here again. This is my last video of 2019. We're getting into 2020 in a few hours. And I wanted to come through briefly and just talk about reevaluating, looking back at 2019, a nice odd year, an uneven year. I think a lot of uneven things happened this year for a lot of us. We're going into a nice even year. We're going into a new decade. And I'm excited about what the possibilities and opportunities that can exist in 2020. So a lot of people make New Year's Eve resolutions and then they fail at them. They don't keep them. They may keep them for a few weeks, a few days, a few months. I think better than resolutions is making commitments to yourself and to other people. And remind yourself on a regular basis what those commitments are. What are you declaring to give to the world, to give to the people around you, to give to yourself? That may be the most important of all, is what gifts are you going to give to yourself in the new year? Because you can't feed other people if you don't feed yourself first, if you don't take care of yourself first. And one of the things that I have really paid attention to this year is self-care, because with 3 kids under 10 and a husband and a puppy and work responsibilities and everything that life has to offer, if I have not learned to refuel my tank on my own, then I'm not going to be nearly able to do what I would like to do for those around me. And I would say most importantly would be my kids. So when I think of my commitments in 2020, I'm just going to start with my kids. I said this in a previous video. It's to spend one-on-one time with each of them. So my oldest is going on 10. He loves to play video games. I'm not going to get into that with him, but what I might do with him is we could sit down and play board games together. We do like to watch a couple of shows together, so we might watch those together and just do our own mini dates with each other. And my 7-year-old, Gabe, he likes to drink lattes and hot cocoa, and I love lattes. So we'll probably go to a coffee shop down the street near the lake and just like talk, maybe play cards, maybe draw, and just sit there and chat and be in presence with each other, just really be there. My youngest is a toddler. She's 16 months, so she's doing all those crazy things that toddlers do. I'm intentional with her about spending that one-on-one female time with her, that she sees me as the role model of strong femininity, and I'm just want to be very intentional about being that presence for her. So with her, it's going to be doing her hair and reading together. She doesn't seem to love to read now, but we're going to continue to make it fun and just do girly activities together as she's getting older. I'm really looking forward to doing that. My husband is another one that I'm going to be intentional in that relationship. So I think about what I want to receive from him, what I want to get from him, and that is understanding and compassion and patience and above all love. So that's what I get to do with him, right? That's what I get to give to him, and that's what I have been doing. And the more that you give that to somebody, you will probably receive it. You don't tell them what you want to see. You don't badger them about what you're not seeing. You show them what you want to see within them, and they are more than likely, over time, you got to be patient with it. Over time, they're likely going to be able to give you some of that. So I'm looking forward to practicing that more with him. Just really being intentional about who I get to be with him, not coming off as a nagging wife or, why aren't we doing this? Why am I not seeing this from you? Why have you been critical? I don't want to be that anymore, and I'm not going to be that anymore. So these are commitments I'm making to my family, and I'm making commitments to my friends that I love to give advice. That's part of who I am. But one of my commitments is I'm going to ask them if they want feedback rather than just giving to it. I do give advice a lot without asking, so, I'm going to ask more, and if they say no, they say no. They're just not in the time and space to hear it, and that's okay. What a commitment I'm making with myself is, one, again, I said self-care, but it's also to be forgiving with myself, and to also take more chances. I think that there's opportunities all around us, and we don't often see them. Either we're too afraid, or we're too mired down by all the complications in our lives. So I'm going to be still. I'm going to pray. I'm going to ask the universe and God to guide me and send me messages, and when they come my way, when opportunities come, I'm not going to say no to them through doubt or excuses or anything. I'm just going to, if it feels right in my spirit, I'm going to go for it. Not every opportunity is going to be right. And so you just have to listen and trust your inner voice. So 2019, I think, was a year of upheaval and change and transition for a lot of people. What that can mean is pain. It can be painful. It can be uncomfortable to go through transitions and changes. And what happens on the other side of that, i.e. in 2020, is you're stronger, you're calmer, you're wiser. And hopefully with that, you are building that trust with other people. Your relationships are built on a more solid foundation, because you have a more solid foundation with yourself. You know who you are. Because anytime you go through a change and you're really looking at the feedback from that, or what are you learning from that, what is an opportunity, because there's opportunities in everything that happens. And especially if it happens over and over, there's opportunities there. What is the lesson I can learn from in this? It can be painful to really look at that. Like I was mentioning with friends, people didn't want to hear it, and I'm like, I have a lot of pearls of wisdom to drop. You don't want my knowledge? Well, no, they didn't, and it didn't mean anything about me. It wasn't anything I could take personally. It's just about them. They weren't ready to hear it, didn't resonate with them, or maybe it was how I was coming off. Like I was right. So these were pain points that I got to evaluate, and I'm excited about going into the new year with those relationships being shifted, because anybody in my inner circle knows, that I like to give my advice. I like to talk about what I'm thinking in the moment when they're talking about something going on with them. A lot of times it lands, and whether it lands or not, I get to be more, I guess the word is just less directive. Just really more of a listener than a teller. So I am excited about all the opportunities in 2020. It is a year of renewal, of rebirth, of fresh new starts. In many ways, there are a lot of things I'm looking forward to, and a lot of commitments I'm making. I'm making career commitments. I am clarifying what my life purpose is. And I'll talk more about that in another video. What I feel like I've been put on this earth to do, other than mothering, other than counseling. There are other things that I really want to give the world. And I'm 42, so some would say it's a kind of the midlife crisis range, but I'm evaluating what do I want to do with the second half of my life. And there's still so much out there for all of us, Doesn't matter if you're 20, 40, 60, or 80. There's so much out there. I just did an interview with my grandma who's 99. There's still so much she wants to do with her life. There's still much life she gets to live, and she's excited about. So you're never too old to stop dreaming and learning and growing. And so just look at 2020 to renew, to stand grounded in your purpose and who you are, and impact others, impact the world, impact the people closest to you. And that's an effect that, will impact others. So everything you do is going to touch other people. So just be very cognizant and intentional of that. So I wanted to just drop this quick video. Folks, it's going to be an exciting new year. Make commitments to yourself. Make commitments to others. Declare them every day. And be impeccable with your work, with yourself and other people. And in that, you will build confidence and clarity, and you will be grounded in who you are. And I wish that for everybody. Love and blessings. Life is now. Take care. Happy New Year.